A fatal fire in the Crescent Hill neighborhood this morning. It's our top story tonight at 5. I'm Connie Leonard in for Shay.
And I'm Doug Profit. This happened right by the Louisville Fire Department's firehouse at Frankfort Avenue and Frank. It happened about 6:30 this morning in the extreme cold right there on Frank Avenue in Crescent Hill. Firefighters found the backs of 2 homes were on fire. When they entered one house to search, they found a man in one of the homes. Alexis Jones, photojournalist Nelson Reyes on the scene, talking with friends and officials.
The early morning fire here on Frank Avenue is still under investigation, but firefighters believe it started at this white home right behind me, quickly spreading to the home next door.
Upon pushing through and gaining control of the fire and conducting all the searches, they did end up finding an occupant in the rear of the main fire structure here.
Friends at the scene tell me the victim was 64-year-old Mark Shawcross, who was a spokesperson for the Derby Festival. Shawcross died at the scene, where friends stood with grief Wednesday morning, each of them too heartbroken to speak on camera.
I saw him Monday night. Very rare that I see him, and then this happens the next day.
Captain Donovan Sims says it took 25 firefighters to control the blaze on Frank Avenue. Initially, they struggled to find the main house because of heavy smoke throughout the neighborhood.
When you do have that cold weather, that smoke kind of sits down low versus moving straight up, and that just made it hard at first to locate. Outside of that, everything else was fine.
Sims says no one else was injured or inside the house next door at the time of the fire. The owner of the neighboring home later arrived with loved ones by his side. They comforted him before assessing the damage, which was mostly in the backyard. In Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS11 on your side.
Right now, the cause of the fatal fire is being investigated by the Louisville Fire Arson Team.
Since September, we've seen 5 fatal fires just in Louisville, including a 7-year-old victim and a 60-year-old with her dog. Expand that to our whole region and at least 2 other fatal fires in Madison, Indiana and LaGrange, Kentucky. According to the National Fire Protection Association, more fires occur in the winter than any other season. Well, it's been 7 months, and the family of a Louisville mother, Amanda Miller, is still seeking justice for her murder.
Louisville Metro Police have a suspect, but they still need tips from you, the community, to get an arrest. Ian Hardwitt and photojournalist Emma Gefter are talking to her mother and daughter about the loss.
I remember after I took that photo, she had posted it on Facebook and said, "Me and my little 1400s."
Amaya Miller, one of Amanda Miller's 3 children, holds her mother close. She's wearing a necklace etched with her mom's face.
I just can bring her with me anywhere still.
Valerie Garrett, Amaya's grandmother, got her the gift for Christmas. It's just one way they preserve Amanda's memory as they seek justice.
You can't put it into words, the pain that we feel every day. It doesn't get easier. It gets harder every day. Your feet hit the floor, and you know she's not there. She's not going to be there.
Miller was shot at this CVS parking lot where Preston meets Eastern Broadway. It happened around 7:30 p.m., but that was last May, and LMPD still hasn't been able to make an arrest. They released a suspect back in September, Maurice Byers, who's also known as Rayshawn.
Byers and Amanda dated for 3 weeks, and she was ending their relationship.
She left my home at 6:06.
Garrett saw her daughter for the last time when she left the Memorial Day cookout and went to meet Byers. Then she was shot, sent to the hospital, and died during surgery.
Just in homicide cases in general, people have to talk to us first, solve these things, and that goes the same with apprehending individuals. We depend on the public heavily for information.
In Louisville, Ian Hardwitt, WHAS11 on your side.
The lead detective in this case is asking for anyone with information on Maurice Byers to call their anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. You see him here on your screen. Amanda Miller's family is also offering a $5,000 reward for anybody who brings in information leading to an arrest.
A popular Louisville chef turned Food Network star was in court this morning facing multiple charges. Darnell Ferguson, known as Super Chef, was arrested Tuesday, charged with burglary, strangulation, and terroristic threatening. There's also a misdemeanor charge of domestic violence assault with minor injury. According to his arrest citation, the alleged victim is Ferguson's wife. She told police Ferguson entered her home, got into a fight with her, and strangled her, then left with her credit card and ID. Ferguson pleaded not guilty to those charges. His lawyers asked his bond be lowered to $5,000 from the original $50,000.
No domestic violence, no violent history. And obviously, Judge, as the court may be aware, he has businesses in and outside of Louisville. He has significant ties to the community, so this is not a flight history issue.
Well, Ferguson just announced his show Super Chef Grudge Match was renewed for a second season on Food Network. He first gained attention after opening Super Chef's restaurant in the Highlands. He'll be back in court January 18th. One person died early this morning after a crash on Shepherdsville Road. LMPD said it was a single car crash that happened around 3 in the morning. Police say the driver was heading south on Shepherdsville Road near Ye Old Post Road. They lost control, crossed the center line, and hit several trees. LMPD said the driver and passenger were taken to the hospital where the driver died of his injuries. The passenger is critically injured. Officers say they were not wearing seatbelts.
We've got pretty strong wind chills out there, folks. We've had some snow flurries flying all across Kentucky since this morning. So the question tonight is, do we have to worry about any freezing on the roads or any trouble coming up tonight?
Yeah, let's hope not, right?
That's right. We are hoping for smooth travels, Colleen.
And I think that's what you're going to get tomorrow. Temperatures are going to hover just above freezing, and we are drying out. That low pressure that brought us all that wind and all of that rain is now off in the northeast. So zooming on into our radar locally, we are starting to see the clouds break. So even over in Hardinsburg and Litchfield, you are seeing some sunshine just before sunset. Temperatures are rather cold, though. 37 degrees right now at the All International. Bowman's clocking in 36, but it feels like the 20s out there. We have wind chills in the mid-20s, 26 in E-Town. It has been very chilly and breezy all day today. Thankfully, overnight tonight, we're not going to be as bad with our temperatures hovering just above freezing at 34, and most spots are going to dry out here for the next few hours, so we're not concerned with any icy spots on the roads tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow is going to be a really nice day. I highly recommend to go enjoy it because we have 2 winter systems back to back as we head towards this weekend. So we'll be getting into the mid-40s by lunchtime, topping out in the upper 40s and low 50s. Now, after that sunny break tomorrow, we have more clouds with system number 1 impacts Friday night through Saturday. This is mainly going to be a rain and wind scenario, almost exactly like the system that we saw. Minor snow impacts Saturday morning. Now, system number 2, right behind it into Monday is going to be our day. If we happen to see some heavy snowfall in that forecast, impacts are likely for system number 2. Now that track can be farther south, so it really just depends where it heads. I'll talk about both those impacts on both those systems here coming up. Connie, Doug.
Colleen, thank you. Happening new today, the Louisville Animal Shelter needs a permanent leader now after the last director left barely a year on the job. Today, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg announced Animal Control Officer Adam Hamilton will be serving as the interim director of Louisville Animal Services following Ashley Book's sudden resignation. Hamilton will remain interim director until longtime Metro employee Ozzie Gibson transitions out of his role at TARC later this year to become the permanent LMAS director. Gibson previously served as the animal control director from 2016 to 2019 before becoming the interim chief of public safety for Metro government. Ashley Book's last day is coming up on January 19th.
This gift, in you and Tommy's honor, I know is echoing into eternity, and I'm so blessed.
The applause there as the CEO of WaterStep was talking late this afternoon, talking about the anonymous donor making a major donation to the Louisville nonprofit in the name of Mary Ann and Tommy Elliott. Tommy Elliott, the Old National Bank vice president killed in the April mass shooting in Louisville. The donation, $500,000 to help bring clean water to communities across the globe. And Elliott was one of the 5 victims in the mass shooting and a close personal friend of Governor Andy Beshear. Mary Ann Elliott and the governor sitting next to each other in attendance during today's announcement.
WaterStep shared the donation in the Elliott's name and how it will work to create safe drinking water in countries around the world. The new project announced today called Wash Up helps hospitals have clean water to sanitize. The company's CEO says the gift will help launch the Louisville developed clean water technology. Governor Andy Beshear said this was the perfect tribute for his dear friend who only wanted to help people in his life.
Talk about a really generous individual and couple that worked to help so many people, and now someone being generous in their honor. And then to hear how that money that's been donated has created more money. Listen, Tommy was a banker. If there's anything he loved, it was taking money and making more money.
and said Tommy would be proud to see Kentucky leading the way on an important cause like clean water.
I'm the only one that's gone up.